and everyone who comes gets a copy, and I'll sign them right there. So I think that's a fun evening. Not everyone shares my sense of what's fun, but for those of you who think that having a good meal, getting out of your house and meeting other live humans again, and fellow rebels, getting a copy of the book, I'll sign it for you. You can get all that if you go to rebelnews.com/events. So we've been busy. Of course, my new book, as you know, China Virus, is out, and it's done very well. Can you grab me the Amazon rankings? I think it's still in the top 10. I mean, it's tough to keep in the top 10 continuously because it's that stat is refreshed every few hours. So if you have a bunch of people buying the book, it moves up, and then later on in the day it can move down and back and forth. But I think it's been doing okay. How's it looking there? It's number 6 this week, which is pretty solid. Look at that, 420, and what's that? They're number 6, both. What's the paperback edition? Can you scroll down a little bit there? There's a ranking, yeah, a little further. There you go. So, oh, there it is. So it's number 5 in books. Click on the top 100. I want to see what's ahead of me. Yeah, the anti-Trump stuff. Canadians just can't get enough of bashing Trump. You would think this country would care about something maybe Canadian, but no. So number 1 book, anti-Trump. Number 2 book, anti-Trump. Number 3 book, that looks like a new one. What's that called? Violent Backwards Over the Grass. Don't know what that is. Untamed. Don't know what that is. And then number 5, well, bonjour, there you have it. 421 ratings. Click on that again. The reason I'm interested in that is, as you know, a bunch of left-wing trolls hopped on the site and gave a bunch of 1-star reviews without even reading the book. Like that one right there. Actually, scroll back up. You see that was written on July 1st. You see that there? The book was not yet out. And this person says this book is pure garbage. It makes for great burning material. Yes, sister, the book wasn't out yet. Anyways, I'm glad that the book has a strong, lots of, oh, you see underneath them where it says verified purchase in sort of dark orange there. So that's if you actually bought the book. You'll notice that the 5-star reviews were by people who actually bought it and presumably read it. But the hate reviews are from people who didn't even buy it. Now, you might think I'm being oversensitive to if people like the book or not. I mean, obviously any author has some emotional investment in their work, but mainly I just want to point out how sneaky the critics of the book are, bashing it and recommending against it without having read it. In fact, writing those reviews before the book could even have been read. Okay, so that sort of brings us up to where we are now. I want to tackle 2 things for sure today. Oh, by the way, before I leave the topic of the book, I like doing book launches, book events, book signings. They've been frustrated lately because, of course, you can't have mass gatherings in the shadow of the pandemic, but slowly jurisdictions across Canada are lifting those rules slowly. And we're tracking the map, and where the pandemic rules are being lifted, we will have book events like the good old days. And we have our first event scheduled. It's going to be July 21st, just outside Edmonton in the community of Sherwood Park. It's from 4:30 to 7:30. Now that sounds like a very long time. Here, let me break it down for you. 4:30 is when the wine and cheese reception starts. And then I think an hour later we sit down for dinner. And we actually have a sit-down dinner. We're booking the whole restaurant. And then I'm going to give a book talk. I'll do a dramatic reading of the book. And everyone who comes gets a copy, and I'll sign them right there. So I think that's a fun evening. Not everyone shares my sense of what's fun. But for those of you who think that having a good meal, getting out of your house and meeting other live humans again, and fellow rebels, getting a copy of the book, I'll sign it for you. You can get all that if you go to rebelnews.com/events. So if you're in Edmonton, for sure come. Obviously Sherwood Park's just across the highway from Edmonton proper. I'd say if you're in northern Alberta, come on up. And it's going to be it's not just like a come in, get a book, go. Like this is an evening. It's a dinner. I've not been to this restaurant before, but I've heard good things. And they're Rebel supporters, obviously, or at least supportive enough to let us be there. They're not deplatforming us. And it'll be great to get back to Alberta. So that's what, just 11 days from now. And we have had some strong ticket sales. We just announced this. How can I even not mention that I will have a very special guest, Sheila Gunn-Reid. She'll be there. So come for the snacks, stay for the book, and say a big hello to Sheila and me, because we've all been cooped up for too long. I'm just looking at the app on my phone here to see how many people have signed up already. We just announced this, I think, like 36 hours ago, and we've got 32 tickets sold, which isn't bad. I think we'll get, we just started telling people about this. I think it's going to be a great event. I think we're going to take up the restaurant, have a nice evening, and I hope to see you there just to get out of the house again and to remember what people are like. And, just, it's like riding a bike, though. I'm sure you never forget how to deal with people again. Hey, we're launching our book tour, and I don't mean virtually, I mean real live, in person. Our first event is scheduled for Sherwood Park on July 21. Go to rebelnews.com/events to get more info and buy your ticket.